Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited to be here, and let's begin the way we always begin, which is to create the possibility of being able to say yes to life, to embrace whatever comes up, to generate the hope, and to make wise choices. So recently, I was at a university speaking on leadership. The audience was really interested in leadership and motivation and inspiration, as well as empowering. And so it's interesting because when I approached the conversation, I wanted to remind people that we are all leaders. It's just not a positional power. It's also this idea of moral authority or having character and integrity, of being authentic, so that people know that you honor your word, that you are trustworthy, and you're concerned about them. You're able to actually have a voice, but give others a voice in terms of how we're going to interact with each other and that sort of thing. So it really was important for me to talk about leadership and this idea that we all can lead, but to be a leader, you have to be yourself. You have to be your authentic self. And this is what my experience is. And so to become a leader, the first choice is to choose to be yourself, not to let people, places, and things tell you who you are or who you should be. That's an inside job. I get to choose that. And so in my own experience, when I got clean and I realized that I was in an occupation that was suggested to me, not something that was heartfelt. And so once I realized that, and it's interesting, the universe will collude with you when you start to think about, well, who do I want to be when I grow up? That's the question I asked myself, even though I was 33 and a half, almost 33 at the time. It's this idea of Joseph Campbell talked about follow your bliss. And so the idea is to start to think about things that I was interested in that were interesting. And so for me, two things at that time that was very interesting is what motivates people and this idea of nonverbal communication, so that I was interested in alignment, integrity, so that what I said and what I do was in alignment. But also when I was working in the detox, working with people, I wanted to be able to distinguish between what they were saying and what they were really communicating. And so this idea of being able to not only for myself, but others to go with the behavior more than to go with what people are saying. And so that was really important. And so what I wanted to offer and what I'm offering here is we all can be leaders just by choosing to be self-led, choosing to be ourselves, to realize that, like I did, that I am responsible for how I am embracing, responding, or reacting to life. And I make choices. Even when I'm not conscious of it, I'm choosing consciously or unconsciously. And so I'm choosing life. I'm choosing to say yes, but I'm also choosing to realize that I can make a difference, and that if I can model this idea of being myself and following my bliss, and that's how I got into it, following my bliss, prayer, meditation, but seeking to serve, seeking to help others, we can do that. So even though in this time we feel like we're powerless and we can't do anything, the little thing we can control is whether we are responding or reacting to things, whether we're saying yes to life and generating a hope and making wise choices, choices that allow us to experience that I and the other are one.